Counter-Strike, a game that has dominated the competitive scene for over 2 decades. Whether a casual player or a seasoned veteran, this game creates emotions like no other, whether it's the thrill of a clutch, the rage of a missed shot, or the excitement of a perfect play.
Nice!
Its longevity isn't an accident. Counter-Strike's identity has remained unchanged for 20 years, thanks to the community that helped define the game's competitive rules, maps, and tactics. This dedication is what made Valve buy the rights to the game and create a modern version for everyone to experience. But here's a little known fact. After the massive success of Counter-Strike's 1.6, the franchise almost went in a completely different direction. Valve wanted a spin-off, which led to a development nightmare bounced between multiple studios, Rogue, Gearbox, and Ritual Entertainment, all trying to create a game that Valve didn't even want. It wasn't until Turtle Rock Studios stepped in that they finally made a game that Valve approved. After 3 years of development hell later, Condition Zero was released, a game that was doomed from the start when a far superior version, Counter-Strike Source, was released in the very same year. Although Deleted Scenes was made by Ritual Entertainment, they tried to make a Counter-Strike single player, but Valve didn't even like that idea. That's why the game is different compared to its original version. Therefore, despite all this chaos, I tried the game in the first place after watching Get Right play it on his stream. I saw the effort, the missions, and the passion of Ritual Entertainment that made me explore this forgotten era of Counter-Strike's history. In past videos, games are individually analyzed by its story, gameplay, and conclusion. However, unlike most single-player games, Condition Zero's campaign isn't about a grand story or a simple conclusion. Instead, it's a series of unique missions, each with its own specific objectives. Having 18 missions total, and different perspectives of each operation, I think it's better to rate each mission based on its tier list rather than analyzing the game's core experience, since every mission's pacing is different based on its design. So the first mission is Recoil. This one feels a lot like something out of Black Hawk Down, and it's a great introduction to the game's core mechanics, reminding me of Half-Life's familiar weapons, equipment, and health management. This operation is very linear, and that's what every mission is in a nutshell. I would say this operation is average because it has cool set pieces and introduces you with every mechanic like equipment, rifles, and utility. I would say that this mission would be landed at sea just because it's the first mission and isn't memorable by any means. The mission does its job, but the bland warehouse and corridor heavy design means there's nothing visually unique to stick in your memory. The only challenging part is the suicide bombers that would instantly kill you if you are not careful. And that's about it. Moving on to the next mission. The second mission is Lost Cause. This operation starts off really interesting, with a stealth and ambush section, but that all changes when an officer tells us to save another group of hostages. That part is one of the most annoying sections in the entire game. You have enemy RPGs that instantly killed you, zero allies to help, and you need to check every corner or you'll get absolutely shredded. I played this game at the hardest difficulty, and the amount of times I died wasn't because of my own mistake, but because of the game's ruthless balancing. The whole one-man army feel of this mission combined with some of the most frustrating weapons in the game makes it one of the worst examples of mission design and immersion I've ever seen. For that reason, I'm putting Lost Cause in F tier. However, the third mission, Secret War, is one of the best operations I have ever played, since we are in an actual operation. It's even funny how Protocol turns into a deadly war, and even the Russian soldiers are aware about this.
Got a bad feeling about this one.
Which foreshadows the multi-faction fight, and it's fun. Not only are there two terrorist groups fighting for the Soviet missile, but your allies are in the fight, escorting you to the next objective and assisting you during the chaos. Even the commander, which barely has any characterization, sacrificed himself by detonating the Soviet missile, and a badass exfil by shooting down a helicopter. What started as a mission of foreshadowing follows up with a fast-paced shootout where three groups of factions are fighting each other. It's even realistic how we barely get to know these soldiers, and yet we never remember their name when they sacrifice themselves. Counter-Strike isn't about memorable characters that you remember throughout the story, but an operation of how the armed forces handle, adapt, and operate in their daily lives. I'm putting Secret War in S tier, one of the standouts of Counter-Strike. Follow it up by another good mission, Building Recon, an operation where the SAS has to investigate if a bomb is present. The mission starts with a stealth section mixed with some funny Russian English lines.
It's cold.
Да, You think they could afford to turn on the heater knowing that we would all be here today?
Absolutely. My hands are freezing. I hope nobody tries to get in this place. I don't think I could pull the trigger with these fingers.
No problem. We could always throw icicles at an intruder.
The stealth in this game is really different, because movement and crouching doesn't matter at all. What matters is that you cannot be seen. If you are, well, you get what happens. It's cool that we get to use the sneak cams as our equipment, which lets us create a window of opportunity to move. It's a game where you also need to utilize the Gold Source engine movement, rather than a typical stealth system. After the stealth section, the game delivers on its firefight with an all-out assault that includes airstrikes, tanks, and multiple SAS units joining the fight, even landing in helicopters to assist you. It's a mission that is perfectly paced by its scripted sequence. However, its boss battle is quite underwhelming, since you can run and gun and instantly kill him with your light machine gun. Overall, Building Recon is another great example of a well-paced mission design, if you can deal with the unique stealth section, which the firefight makes it more worth it. I would put this S tier, right with Secret War. Although Drug Love is a bit strange for me, it's a mission I would consider filler, since the shootout of the repeated objective of saving hostages has gotten repetitive. It's an improved version of Lost Cause due to less annoyance of enemies, but that's not saying much, since it's plagued with the same mistake of a one-man army, except in the last part of the mission, where 2 soldiers are with you. It still has different context of destroying drugs, but other than that, this mission felt lifeless with less scripted sequence. Overall, this mission is below D tier due to its lifeless corridor shooting. Moving on, motorcade shooting is exciting at first, but turns into disappointment. What started as an interesting assault turns into a one-man shooter, since you're with your allies ambushing a convoy, and then later, they order you to kill the leader alone. Although this one was one of the least difficult due to the AUG. Counter-Strike is notorious in balancing, especially when rifles dominated the meta, even to this day. Hence, motorcade shooting isn't frustrating to play, but more of an immersion breaker for the user who's experiencing this tactical shooter, because what all you do is point and click shooting, which is dumb when Counter-Strike is a team game, and that's why I would put motorcade shooting at C. On to the next mission. Hi, another mission and another solo shooter. Although this mission was intentional to be solo, since enemies aren't that OP and has a good balance of how many enemies you have to fight. I like how they add sentries, but they're quite easy to kill in retrospect. This is where you stop the SS from going to Russia with the nuke. After you completed it, you began to fight the boss battle, and my god, the missiles are atrocious, since they're like RPGs that can one-shot. Overall, all the fights are balanced except the ending part, because my sniper scope is bugged for some reason. It's a weird glitch and I'm not sure if it's the crosshair that is broken, or I changed the crosshair unintentionally. Let me know in the comments, cause I would put this in C. Decent, but not memorable. Next up is Lost Pilots, an operation that is really inconsistent. It's a mission with some major highs and lows, which makes me feel torn on how to rate it. This mission gives you a huge variety of weapons to play with. Some are great like the Krieg and others are less so. You also get into a ton of firefights without backtracking too much, which is a welcome change. For the most part, the combat feels balanced aside from these annoying enemy RPGs, which I honestly think they should have removed from the game. Anyways, you're alone for most of the mission, but during the crucial moments of saving the pilots, your command actually sends in 2 soldiers to help you out. It's a nice touch that makes these moments feel more immersive. However, the long mission combined with the variety of scenarios like having to deal with tear gas and getting captured makes me want to put this in B tier. It's not a great mission, but it's one of those operations that really gets the job done. Anyhow, next mission is Hangakai. Hangakai? God damn it. Hangakai. Bro, I'm not Japanese, bro, so I'm sorry. Next mission is Hangakai, and this mission is where you protect the VIP and then eliminate the sniper. It's based in Japan, and in general what I like about this game is that it has multiple countries, factions, and locations. Aside from the reused terrorist enemies and inconsistency of speaking languages, there's an actual effort of these locations, making it connect to my main point that the game is more about the operations, and we don't really know about the operators' names. Anyways, the game makes you protect the VIP with a police force, and I think this mission has some good moments in it. However, there are some missions that frustrates me when you're alone, since it's corridor shootouts that are not that balanced due to multiple enemies depleting your armor. But other than that, this mission is good, but not really good. So I would put this in B tier. So this is the 10th mission, Turn on the crank? Drug war, whatever. Turn on the crank is a lot like Recoil. It suffers from the same problem of being linear corridor shooter, but it avoids the frustration of the mission like Lost Cause. The only difference is the rifle you get to use is the AK-47, the weapon that completely dominates the mission, turning every encounter into a quick one-shot, and making the whole experience much easier. Their lack of challenge combined with the mission's generic and repetitive design makes it feel completely unremarkable. For that reason, I'm putting it a solid C tier. The 11th mission is Alamo, and this one is another confusion. On the one hand, I want to put this on A tier due to its helicopter and rescuing the embassy members. On the other hand, I want to put this on C tier because it's a one-man army saving the hostages. While the design isn't that flawed and the mission does have a nice badass moment of helicopter assisting you, it's rather underwhelming in retrospect due to it being in the ending of the game. So I'll just say this. Mission is decent, but with the helicopter alone, I would put this in B tier rather than C. And the final mission is Rise Hard, and I consider this mission to be underwhelming. What seems to be like building Recon, where there's SAS helping you out clearing the buildings, became a one-man army against a terrorist and a Scottish leader. I love the level design where you have to climb through elevators, shooting the skylines, and the detail of each room, but I dislike how an important mission, that one that carries the nuke, is you, alone, destroying an entire faction. The game is balanced and doesn't have multiple problems in gameplay, but come on! I already saw the potential of Secret War and building Recon due to the allies helping you out. Not only that, but the boss battle is rather underwhelming. What starts as a stab fight, he runs away, and you defuse the bombs and blow part of the building to fall him off. An underwhelming final and a potential game, so I would sadly put this below in the B tier. Well, technically it's not the final mission, since the game adds 6 more missions that are quite short, so I would go really fast on this. Fastline is unique due to the terrorist attack in the train station. It's well detailed with cops backing you up during the fight. You also have a riot shield with a 5.7 on it, making it more fun and unique when compared to other missions. I would like to put this mission in A tier. It could be better by its longer firefights, but with the update content like this, I won't regret this rating. And number 14 is Truth in Chaos. God damn, another Japanese mission. But anyways, this mission is like what I love in Secret War and building Recon. Briefing your plans, stopping the nerve gas, and having operators fight with you. What I also loved about this mission is how you can see the background of operators and terrorists fighting for control in the situation. Therefore, this mission I would instantly put in S tier, even if the content is short. Run is a mission that isn't really memorable, but in context makes sense when you're running away against a terrorist that you cannot win, rather than being the aggressor. It's a mission that makes sense in a short mission, but clearly lacks context. The missed opportunity is you having a stealth section and killing the leader yourself, instead of the game telling you that you killed the leader. Overall, this operation I would put it in B tier, short, fast, and decently designed, even with the missed opportunity behind it. Number 16, I think this is the fastest thing that I would just say. I would just put this on C tier. It's just a normal corridor shootout like Recoil and Turn on the Crank. Thus, yeah, just C tier. Not really that memorable. And number 17, Sandstorm. It's just another like the same problem that with Recoil, Pipe Dream, and other missions that's just point and click shooting. Overall, just lazily put this also in the C tier. And now, finally, I'll just explain this in detail. Number 18. Miami Heat. Finally, the last mission. And it's the most unique mission, a complete stealth section where you avoid guards and rescue every hostage in the bank. I would say there are bugs of civilians not being spotted, but this may be intentional due to the balancing. I would say that this mission is really basic but an entertaining one due to how it's paced. You're there to go to the sewers, rescue hostages, and call the SWAT team to finally kill the robbers, but without any civilian risk. A good, well-paced design overall, so it's gonna be A tier. Counter-Strike has been a franchise that lasted longer than I have, and that's rightfully deserved. I'll always appreciate the multiplayer that got me hooked on esports and competitive gaming in general, but part of me will always wish for a single-player mode, similar to the operations in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. While I understand that Valve has bigger issues to fix like content and anti-cheat, I wouldn't mind if they add campaign with its own lore, just like the game did to its former. It's easy to forget a relic like Condition Zero, and I get why. Its timing, development issues, and a different identity made it difficult to love. Counter-Strike is a rare example where a game's core gameplay loop is so perfect that the community doesn't want it to change. And that's how Valve stays silent and succeeds by doing nothing.